Unbiased Trades here, and today I'm just going to go over how I'm adapting as a trader. I've done a similar video on this, but there's been more developments. I think every trader adapts to the market, and the market has definitely changed. At least from my perspective. Obviously, I'm still very new in my journey, so if you hear from more experienced traders that you're trying to replicate and they're saying no, it's the same, or in different ways, then listen to them. I would prefer to listen to them over me. But if you're trading small caps and this is the best you've got, then I will say here's some good things you could look at and try and confirm for yourself as well. But yeah, let's just get into it. So, firstly, the monthly stats on my setups have definitely changed. These are just two setups I trade. I only trade, I think now about four setups. I've added two, and one of them was a long setup. So yeah. But anyway, these are the main two I normally trade, and you can just see some normal stats here like market cap and float, average volume, all that kind of stuff. For you, that won't really matter because you'll need to track your own setup and see how those change. And then for me personally, I can see that, oh, okay, on this setup, pre-market highs and J lines and bounces are working really well. I definitely want to prioritize like maybe bounces over anything else. Whereas on the other setup, pre-market highs is working amazingly. Like that's maybe the main focus for me. But these still have changed. The main changer here is the average breakdown time. According to my setup, for I think about 4 or 5 months, it's pretty much being consistent that um, I normally want to look for from 10 to 10:30, or ideally before 10:30, right? That's normally when the breakdown would happen, kind of between that window. But this has changed like drastically recently, where the average breakdown time now is at like 11:21, and 11 for the other setup. So obviously, this is with small data. We're not that far into the month, but you can't just be ignoring these things. Well, it depends on your setup. It really all depends. If you have a lot of capital and you can like handle the drawdowns and multiple other things, you've got plans for those, then that's perfect. Yeah, you can just keep on doing the same thing, and you may take some more losses now, but you'll make it back in the long term. For me, I prefer to adapt. I'm not going to make permanent changes, right? Like I'm still going to be looking to see if the market changes back or if one side becomes more favorable or whatever. And I did this. I think I did another video about market sentiment and how I kind of track that. So you can watch that if you want an idea of how I do that. But for this is just the main things that 11:21 is way later than normal, and that's something I'm going to have to really adapt to. And some of the entries have been changing as well, so that's been very interesting because for so this strategy is basically a day two strategy. Normally day one levels work amazingly. Recently they have not been working really at all, and most of the time you want to actually look for a bounce when like backside kind of comes in or something like that. So yeah, that's just interesting little things you can notice, and I really recommend having a monthly average thing for your setups so you can see like, are they changing, are they staying the same? And mainly you want to focus on like drastic changes. Like if you see something really out of the blue, then that's kind of weird. And then just a very small slide here, but these are the main changes I'm taking. So I'm looking to short only after 10 a.m. This will probably last like a week, and then I'll rethink, okay, was that a bad or good idea? Is this like something that I should keep now for a while, or has the market just become dead again, right? I picked up a new way to confirm backside. This is mainly from, I was very fortunate to join Justin Flynn's room, and he was going over some technical ways he tries to use that. So I picked up some other things like that, back tested them, and used a couple other things. So mainly the 10-minute candle breakout. So if you're looking at a 10-minute chart and it has a breakout level with good volume, you want to take that low of that candle, and once it goes below there, you can be more confident in shorting pops pretty much. And then there are a couple other things. So one other thing was that I liked, I would be more confident in shorting bounces if there was a big flush through both EMAs with good volume, and that would kind of prove to me that the trend has broken to some extent, and now I could be more confident shorting these bounces. But obviously, if they confirm again and break highs, then obviously it's wrong. But yeah, just some more ways for me to confirm backside as the market has become a lot stronger. Going to focus on clear outs. This is a big one for me. A lot of my levels have been like they've been respecting, and then they get cleared out again, and they have just been pushing a bit higher than normal from what I expect, and sometimes I'll get stopped out and then the trade will exactly go my way. So that's something I'm adjusting for, is I'm gonna really focus on clear outs. If I see a high of day test, I'm gonna wait for, a bit of a push above it, and then I'll be more confident to short it, like just use that kind of area of the high of day instead of just the high of day level. And then more confident to long on traps. If you've been following me on Twitter, I've definitely been going long way more than ever before. I think I took about 6 longs, I think, recently. So it's been crazy that I never used to go long. It's the first time in, I think, about a year, maybe about a year, pretty much. And I really like my long strategy. I've put a good amount of time into it. I have to thank JTrader for a lot of the his tips on going long. If you don't follow JTrader, you really should. He's an amazing guy. But yeah, so that's pretty much a combination of that and some other things I've noticed, and that's been going good for me as well. And then lastly, I created a max loss that cannot be changed. This hopefully should be the end of me ever taking huge losses. I pretty much put my max loss as 3R, and it's constantly changing. Every day I reevaluate to see, am I doing really good? Maybe I should tighten that max loss. And everyone in the comments is going to be like, that's the wrong way. But for me as a trader, I become very overconfident. And the more I win, the more I win, I just become so overconfident, and one day I'll snap and I'll just oversize, or I'll take too many trades, or I'll just break one rule, and that will be enough to just have a huge loss day. And that's how every one of my loss days has happened. My loss days have never happened from me taking a big loss and then the next day just like being completely stupid. I When I take a big loss, I'm actually on my A game like 2 days after it. 2 days after, I'm on my A game because the fear is in my brain. I know I need to respect my rules. I know I need to be focused, and that is when I perform my best, really. And now I have that max loss that cannot be changed. Sadly, I couldn't set that up with the broker. It took me coding a system to alert my girlfriend and also to block the website. So if you need help with that, please message me. I can give you some tips on how you can do that. If your broker, your broker needs to be able to set the max loss for you. But like for TradeZero, they don't have a system where you can't change it. And it's the ugly truth. I know there's many traders that have had those days where sometimes they change it. I have had that day, I think, about twice in my trading career, and it's hurt me twice, and that's it's not happening again. So I developed that system, and I'm very proud of that system personally. And yeah, that's pretty much the main changes. I know, kind of a short video, but I've just been very busy with uni work. So I hope these are some great things you can focus on with your trading, and I hope your trading is going amazingly.